Are you guys sure this is a good idea?
Oh, come on, Lauren. You're the one that's always saying the gang deserves to get theirs. Don't chicken out now.
Don't worry, we're gonna get a little payback. Nothing too severe.
You're right.
Jeff Kirkendale and Mark Polania bring us The Stalking. Now, I wanted to watch this movie because I'm a huge fan of the killer scarecrow subgenre, and that is what this poster art here promises. However, it's not really about a killer scarecrow, but I guarantee you'll never guess what it is about. Killer sunflowers. Oh yes. So what's the story? Well, we have this witch that is doing some type of nefarious spell out in the woods, and she effectively summons these evil sunflowers to this kind of small town somewhere, and we have a group of young people, our protagonists, who are the kind of the unpopular kids, so to speak, and they are getting bullied by another group. But this kind of evil force, which ultimately results in a kind of killer scarecrow, but for the most part of these killer sunflowers, these forces now attack these young people. What will happen? Well, you'll have to watch the movie and find out. So yes, the team of Jeff Kirkendale and Mark Polania. I have to be honest with you, I was like, I've kind of had enough of these guys. But I wanted to watch this movie because I like sort of killer scarecrow movies. What can we say that works in this movie's favour? I actually kind of thought the killer sunflowers is admittedly quite a unique idea. You know, I believe this was spun off of a short, and you probably can say this is probably the most unique movie villain you've probably seen in recent years, one would argue. And in a way, I actually kind of quite like the way that they were on screen. I mean, they're just a bunch of flowers, but they have these quite cool sound effects that don't really make sense, obviously, but I kind of quite liked it. And there's even one scene where someone's been smoking weed, and he kind of runs into these sunflowers, and all of these sunflowers have got joints, in their faces, I guess. So, there are some kind of like fun things, admittedly, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of Day of the Triffids, which some of you may not know. So it has that sort of vibe to it, killer plants and things. Again, it's relatively sort of unique, and even though it is a low-budget movie, I thought, fair play to it for being somewhat of a unique setup. There is one or two shots where I think, okay, a little bit of time has been spent kind of constructing these sort of shots. It feels less like it's been totally slapped together like a lot of Mark Polania movies that I've reviewed. Maybe what is the Jeff Kirkendale in this as well. I mean, a lot of it is like that, but there are one or two shots, and I put a clip at the beginning of this video to kind of demonstrate that, okay, it's cheap looking, but nonetheless, there's one or two shots here that I think look fairly decent. And that's about it, if I'm honest, on the positives. What can we say that doesn't work? It's extraordinarily cheap. If you are familiar with these guys, you'll kind of know what to expect. It is quickly made, extremely rough around the edges, no real care about the quality of the product at the end of the day. It's just these guys' MO is to create lots of content, lots of movies, get them out quickly, have a cool cover, and people will buy them. And there's that sort of mentality that I kind of complain about quite often with sort of B movies, because I think it ultimately damages people taking a chance on low budget movies. But in a little bit more detail, we have incredibly bad acting, rough around the edges, technical elements. As I said, there's one or two elements I think it looks okay, but a lot of it is kind of not so good. shall we say. Very cheap VFX that don't really kind of make any sort of sense. You know, the beginning of the scene where you have this witch in like thick white like grease paint, looking like she's making some type of like punch in like a glass punch bowl, and this is the cauldron. You know, it's like just sprinkle a few leaves and things. Brilliant. Our Scarecrow sort of seems really just kind of shoehorned in there as sort of like a figure towards the end of the movie, and that Scarecrow has literally just got like a mask, like a plastic mask of a burlap sack. So it's not even an actual sort of burlap sack. It is a mask of a burlap sack. So they haven't even really done that. So it's kind of like it's incredibly sort of cheap looking. The plot is not really anything to kind of like write home about. A group of like dumbass kids basically, or young adults being sort of stalked, trying to kind of get one up on the bullies and things. There's these weird awkward like scenes where the cast don't really feel like they know what they're doing. They haven't been like directed. And so you have people kind of standing around awkwardly, not really kind of knowing what to do, but the camera is sort of still rolling. And then we have these scenes where it just feels like the cast haven't really been given clear instructions and awkwardly kind of shift around or eventually kind of start doing something. But the camera's like, you know, Kirkendall and Polyneuve's gone, that's fine, that's a great take, let's move on. Probably like one take per scene. That's probably how it's gone with these type of films. So it has this kind of real awkward sort of feel to it, and not in a sort of like a fun way. It just feels like quite sort of cringy in some respects. To be honest with you, this movie was a little bit of a chore to sit through. A couple of points I'll give it some plaudits for, but it's 2 out of 10. Not a good movie in any stretch. Have you seen it? What were your thoughts? Please do let me know, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.